Welcome again to Metal Weekly, the series where we bring you some of the albums you may have missed from a particular week. Now let's start things off straight away with a weird experimental black metal band called Oranssi Pazuzu, and I'm going to need some help with the album title. So just bear with me on this one. So the album in question is Meestarin Kynsi, and it's out now on Nuclear Blast. So as you heard, very strange, very otherworldly are probably the two words that describe this album, but it has all the characteristics of a black metal album, but just like turned on its head and added all these weird synth parts, these weird kind of almost chime sections. It's like you'd listen to like a Emperor album. This is like that, but then you just took loads of acid. That's what this experience is. It's Emperor on acid. That's the best way to describe it. It's kind of similar to like Jefferson Airplane, you know, like White Rabbit and stuff. With black metal, it is a weird combination, but it somehow works. If you want something new, you want something experimental, something you've never really heard before, definitely give this album a listen because it's fresh, it's original, and it's unlike anything I've ever heard. They have lengthy songs which kind of transport you throughout the cosmos. And the standout track for me is probably Usi Technocratia. Probably not exactly how you say that, but we're going to go with it. But this is probably the most unique album in April, and you should definitely give it a listen. Coming in next is the big release, Black Dahlia Murder with Verminous on Metal Blade Records, and it's out right now, so give it a listen.
Without your awakenings, warning, disheveled in bed. With different which I gave for the dust of my mess. It's insane to have drilled through countless raids and attempt to just maintain its relook until it's scrawny in the...
So the Melodic Death Metal Masters are back with an album which is dirty, disgusting, and everything basically Verminous. So the album cover, the slime-ridden album cover, all that toxic green goes well with the music itself. You have disgusting songs about rats, and the amazing song, The Werewolf's Feast. That has got to be one of the best songs of the year. The guitar in it, just the melodies, the riffs, Werewolf's Feast is spectacular. Dawn of Rats is also a nice closer, very different for them. This is a very different Black Dahlia Murder. It's not the same standard affair as Nightbringers or some of the other albums they've got. This is so much different to them, but I love it. I love it that they're taking a chance with this one, and it pays off because this has got to be one of the most fun releases in April, and you've probably all heard it already, but if you've got some time, go listen to this disgusting, disgusting album. It is just full of fun, full of maggots, everything you want in a slime-ridden melodic death metal album. Next up, we have something frantic, something absolutely aggressive as hell, like primal as fuck. This is Black Curse with the album Endless Wound, out April 24th on Sepulchral Voice Records. This is out next week, but it's in full on Bandcamp, so that's why I'm including it on this list, because you can listen to it right now on Bandcamp. So let's give you a little taster of the mayhem ahead. So yeah, this album is mental. You should just cut the review off right there. Move on to the next band. Yeah, so this album is intense, aggressive, evil, everything you want in this black and death metal, furious album which you get here. It is just the most intense album you're going to hear all year, probably. All year. I'm not even going to lie. Every song packs a massive, mammoth, evil, fiery punch, and the album art is beautiful. The album art exactly encapsulates what the album sounds like, you know? You walked in to a room and, oh shit, there's hellfire, get me out, this is way too hot for me. But no, the flames are keeping you in. You're like, fuck, I want to escape, it's too intense for me, but you can't. And that's this album. You want to like, you kind of like, is this too intense? Is this too heavy? But then you're enthralled by it and you're like, no, this is just right. Goldilocks and the Free, this is the good porridge right here. This album is the good porridge. It's the nice porridge, and I just want to eat all of it. Next up, if you want something more technical, we have Abysmal Dawn and their album Phylogenesis. This album's out right now on Season of Mist, so let's give it a listen. So this death metal band is back with all the speed, technicality, and heaviness which you come to expect from them. All their albums so far have been great, and this one is no exception. It kind of carries the same trend, but tweaked a little bit, and it's a little bit more refined on this one. There's a lot of sexy riffs on this album as well, kind of really catchy, heavy riffs, kind of similar-ish to Bolt Thrower, not quite as monolithic as Bolt Thrower, but almost, you know, there's a lot of catchy riffs here, and the one on Soulsick Nation is just stuck in my head. That riff is catchy as hell. From the album cover alone, you know what you're getting yourself in for. A great, spacey, technical death metal time. And they also cover Death's Flattening of Emotions, so 10 out of 10 for doing that, because they actually make it sound really fucking cool. And it's not, and most people can't really replicate Death, and they're doing it in their own way and making it sound good, so good job, guys. Next up, we have something completely different. We have some symphonic metal for you. Nightwish isn't the only band to release something symphonic this month. We have Ignea, which is a long-awaited album, because I've been keeping up with these guys, listening to all the singles, and they've all been fantastic. And Ignea has just released their latest album, Realms of Fire and Death, and it's out right now for you to listen, so let's check it out.
As long as I am queen, cost what it may, I'll fight the fate I am to win.
What band, what dwellings and kingdom?
Now, this isn't just any run-of-the-mill symphonic metal band. No. These incorporate, you know, the death growls, both sides, both male and female, so it's kind of more on the side of Ginger than on the side of, say, Nightwish. It's more on the Ginger side, and that holds true because they are both Ukrainian, and they have songs where they speak in their own language, kind of like Retrospection on Ginger's latest album. This one has a couple of songs like that, and those are my favourite songs. When they sing in their own language, it makes it more heavy, it makes it more authentic, it makes it more real. I love those tracks. Those tracks are phenomenal. And so are the singles, like Queen Dies. Everyone's probably heard that one already. That one's just a beautiful song. Catchy as hell. The riffs in some of these, like the melodies in some of these songs, are really infectious. I adore this band and I adore this album. I'm glad it's come out, finally. I'm glad it's come out. They have kind of like a Middle Eastern folky vibe to some of the songs as well. Kind of in the same vein as like Orphaned Land. Say like Orphaned Land, the beautifulness of Epica, and then Ginger's, you know, Ukrainian heritage and death metal all mixed together. You've got yourself Ignea. It's just a great album. It's a great album. If you love the Nightwish one, you'll probably like this one. So this album is great. Go listen to it. So you want something a bit heavier? Do you want something more old school death metal? Well, have I got the band for you? We have Ripped to Shreds. You know from that name it's going to be good. And the album Luan on Pulverized Records, out now. Let's check it out. Oh boy, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And from the album art, you know it's going to be good. You know it's going to be good. It's got a kind of Chinese folklore theme, like mythos around the entire album, which also is just fantastic. It's not just death metal, it's now like oriental death metal, which is fucking awesome. The vocals remind me of Chuck from Death. It has that proper old school vibe to it, which kind of Live Burial did in my last Metal Weekly, which is another great album, so check that one out. But this one does it as well, and those vocals, you just can't get sick of them. You can't get sick of those vocals. And it's not just riffs galore. It's not just riff-heavy songs. There's solos in here. There's amazing, beautiful solos as well as heavy, chugging riffs. It's fast, furious, and heavy, and one of my favourites from April, so definitely give this one a nice, good listen. Finally, we have Funeral Leech and the album Death Meditation. This one's out now on Carbonized Records. Let's check it out. Yes, we are back with Death Doom, my favourite genre. I love death metal, I love doom metal, put them together, work of art. And this album is a work of art. Speaking of art, that is fucking disgusting, but also fantastic. It's like a flower made from human flesh and organs. Disgustingly beautiful. Just like this album. You know, it's got all you need in a Death Doom album. It's slow, it's chugging, it's catchy, the riffs are catchy, just like Bolt Thrower. The vocals are really guttural, really low, really Death Doomy. You know, it's Death Doom. What if you love Temple of Void, if you love Hooded Menace, check this out. Check this out. This album is right up your alley, because it's right up my alley. Heavy as fuck, while keeping it at an evil pace as well, an evil slow pace, but still retaining that heaviness. This is also the debut from these guys. The debut, and it's this good. So I can't wait to see what else they bring to the table on the next couple of releases, because if it's anything like this, then this band is going to go high on my watch list, I think, because I love me some Death Doom. Now I just have an honourable mention, and this is Azath, with the album Through Warren of Shadow on Pulverized Records. This album caught me off by surprise. I never expected a death metal album with fantasy elements in. So I was very pleased to hear when I heard the album itself that it was actually really fucking heavy and really fucking catchy and really fucking good. So this is another one you should probably check out. It's just I didn't want the list to be full of just death metal. So I'm putting it in the honourable mentions, and the next honourable mention is Hexvessel with the album Kindred on Svart Records. This is more proggy rock, more in the line of Led Zeppelin and newer Opeth than anything metal, but it's just a great, refreshing time. As soon as I heard it, I was like, this isn't what I'm used to, but it is just so unique and so new. It's something different. If you want something different, some prog rock for you, if you don't like any of the death metal, doom metal, or black metal stuff, check out Hexvessel, because this album is relaxing, it's peaceful, and it's kind of like classic 70s rock, so definitely give that one a check out as well. So that does it for today's batch of albums. Hopefully you find something that you enjoy. Let me know in the comments below your favourite album from this week, or favourite album from next week if you've heard some of those already. Tell me in the comments below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.